let's just rehash for a second, okay? Everybody was able to log on to College Board. Were you able to get in, Lavender?
Yep.
Okay, good. So everyone between now and Thursday, and I'm saying that because for the people who aren't here, I just started recording so that they will know they need to do this. So that's why we're going to repeat a few things quickly together. Everyone should make sure they can sign on to College Board, and if they can't, they need to let me know before Thursday so that I can talk with Miss Edinburgh and figure that out. Why don't we just do a quick review of what you heard me just say about the test? So I'll call out a name and you tell me one thing I just told you that we think we know. Dale, tell us something.
That we need to use the last 5 minutes to do the upload process for the test.
Okay. Kristen?
We have to log on 30 minutes before we start the test.
Yep, log on. You have to be logged on 30 minutes before the test starts. Casey? I think Casey's microphone stopped working. Aubrey?
You think we can have at max 2 tabs open?
Yep. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, sick. We should probably print out the prompt on the test so that we can work on it while we're working.
Yes, okay. Ariel?
They're excluding the name of the author and the title. So just in your claim, write like the writer or the author.
Okay, and just refer to the passage as the text. All right. Sid, you got anything?
That we need to check our email for the EVI or what, I don't know, whatever you said.
Yeah. 2 days before the test, you should get an e-ticket that will give you the information and any codes you need to get into the test. But you should also go back through your email and check anything else that's been sent to you recently from College Board. Renee?
We will need a reliable internet source that can last throughout the 45-minute test?
Well, 50, I think it's 45 minutes. There's debate amongst the teachers. Is it going to be 45 with 5 to upload or 40 with 5 to upload? And I will find that out at the webinar today. All right, so you need reliable internet source. I'm going to talk to Mr. Osterberg about the possibility of some people taking it at the school in case they don't have reliable internet sources. Anybody else have something to add?
I just have a question. When we print out the prompt, will it be given to us ahead of time to print out, or will we have to wait till we open the test to print it?
I don't know. That's on my list of questions for them.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a good question. You can also have any other notes. Remember, it's open notes, so you can have any notes that you have. If you want to come get your notebook in the classroom from me, if you have notes in there that you'd like to use, you just need to let me know and I will make arrangements to meet you over there in a safe way. And now we're going to look at our Google Classroom and where I have posted some resources for you that you can have printed out in front of you if you want when you're taking the test. But have everything ready well ahead of time. Look at what you want to have in front of you and maybe the day before get it all ready so that that isn't a stressor. You know what you have, you know where it is, you know how it's organized, and it's more of a help and doesn't become a hindrance. All right, let me share my screen and I will show you. Some of the resources on. Hold on.
I thought you said that the exam was at 2.
I believe it is at 2, so don't worry about what that says there. It was teachers were compiling, we were making a list, and that was someone who's on Central Time. Sorry, I tried to open something in Microsoft Word and we don't have Microsoft Word on our computers, and it drives me absolutely crazy because all this stuff pops up when I try to open something. So let me see if I can just avoid it. All right, so don't worry about this document and the 1 p.m. Ours is later. Cause see that Central Time, Sid? So that would be 2 p.m. Pacific. 3. I'll double check. We're gonna look at it in just a minute. All right, here we go. All right, so there we are. Move that down. I'm trying to keep this right here, kind of near the top for you all. So there are 3 documents that I have put here. These 2 in particular, I think are nice documents for, and they're almost the same. This one's just tweaked a little bit, so it would be a matter of what you prefer. Hold on, something's going on with, I think someone's in the waiting room. How do I get to it? I'll have to wait a minute. Anyway, I'm going to open one and just show you what it looks like. Both in the same flow chart. Okay. Yeah, so 2 documents. They're very similar. One just might make more organizational sense to you to use than the other, or you might want to have them both. One was put together kind of by the group, and then this teacher tweaked it a little bit for herself. So here is what we know, and I will double check about the timing. The browser doesn't allow you to digitally annotate or copy paste. So I don't know why the one person was recommending Google Classroom, and maybe that might have been why I put that question down to ask them. You can print and manually annotate. The printing, depending upon how it goes, could eat up valuable time. So don't just sit around while it prints. Go ahead and start reading it and just take some notes until you have it printed in front of you. Here's the information about not having author and title. So this is kind of all of the stuff that we just went over, but it also some reminders about your introduction and thesis that you want to be specific and have a clear claim. In the end, it's better to have a really well-written claim than to have a full introduction. And we've talked about this in class. They're not looking for the formalities necessarily of a 5-paragraph essay. They're looking for the complexity in thinking. So some templates to follow if you're having trouble. You want to try to write your own academic and creative thesis that has all the parts. But if the test opens up and you go into deer in the headlights mode, you can use this. And normally you wouldn't be able to. So have it in front of you just in case. It's a template to write a thesis. So going with prose, a kind of chart of common literary elements and techniques, and then some phrasing to help you begin your discussion about them if you need that help. Same when you're getting into the figurative language, etc. So kind of I mean, not that we want to encourage cheating, but it's what you would call a cheat sheet that is allowed in this situation. Some reminders about evidence and commentary and an example. If you can have all the evidence in the world, but if you don't have that academic commentary, you're going to lose a lot of points. And then a wrap up, a little template to make a wrap up and finalize. This really isn't part of the scoring, but it never hurts to have the smooth flow. But if you get to the point where you're out of time and you haven't written this, don't worry about it. When you are taking a little time for revision, which you should do, you should give yourself a few minutes to look back through your essay. The reading out loud, and we've talked a little bit about reading things out loud backwards too for sentence sense. Don't do that here, you want to read from beginning to end because you don't have a lot of time. But reading your essay out loud, if you trip over a sentence, you know there's a problem with the sentence. So, and also when you read it silently, your mind knows what you mean to say and will fill in the gaps for you, even if it's not said in a smooth and cohesive way. When you say it out loud, it forces your mind to give it a different kind of look, a different kind of mental look. So commentary, does every body paragraph link back to the task and why? How does it prove the point? How does that evidence, your commentary is, how does that evidence prove what you said was true about the text? All right, so that's the gist of it. The other one looks similar. It's just maybe designed a little bit differently. So same type of information and advice. A different type of annotating as you read. Some people like charts and to check things off. So I think that's why the other teacher redid it. And when I saw hers, I was like, I think I kind of like that better. It makes more sense to me anyway. But if you are a checklist kind of person, here you go. You've got what you need. But really the information that's presented in this document isn't remarkably different from the other one. So it's a matter of choice, or have both there and go with the one that makes the most sense in the time of the test. Any questions about those? All right. And then for those super visual students, if you want to, as you're revising, go back and check and see, does it meet all the criteria? You have a flow chart. Does it do this? Yes, then this is true about it. Does it not do this? No, then this is true about it. You can kind of follow the lines, but this is something you would want to look at way ahead of time if you want to really think about your essay in these terms. But this makes sense to some people. It's a little convoluted for me. I do like visuals, but this might throw me off a little bit. But I can think of some of you that I know are very visual and colorful in how you think through a process. So I thought that might be useful, but ultimately it's up to you. All right, I'm going to stop sharing for a second so that we can come back and you can ask me questions. My College Board is, does that matter? I don't know, Eli. I will ask that question. I don't think it will. I don't know though. I got to find out about that. So I will be sure to ask that question. Eli's question is his College Board is hooked up to his personal email, and does that matter? And which, if we're able to use Google Docs and copy and paste from the Google Doc to the site, will we be able to go from our personal? I don't know. I see that question. I'm going to type it up as soon as we're done, and I will make sure to ask that. Same for Aubrey. So there must be a few of you that have that case. Okay. Any other questions? All right, I'm going to share my screen again because I want to show you where to go on AP if you haven't gone there. And then this is going to be connected to the assignment that you have to do. See if this is it. I've got this little thing at the top of my screen to manage you all, and it blocks where I am. Here we go. So when you log in, you should have this little tab, coronavirus updates. And if you're logged in and you want to click along with me, go right ahead. So here's mine. I go into the educators. I've signed up for my webinar today, etc. And this is where I learned some of how to use the resources they've been posting for us. You have a students tab, or you have a tab for you. I don't know if you'll have the educators tab or not, but you should have something there that gets you to your page about the AP exam. There's the schedule to be sure about your time. Let's see what they say here about taking the exams. Open book. For most subjects, 45 minutes long and include an additional 5 minutes for uploading. I will clarify with them to make sure. You need to be in the 30 minutes early. You can take the exam on any device, computer, tablet, or smartphone. You can either type or upload a picture, but I don't see anything about the copy and paste, so I will be sure to ask that. I really encourage you not to do this on a cell phone. Well, I know you're all very adept at texting. It's really hard to do so. The only way I would do this on a cell phone is with my Bluetooth keyboard. If you happen to have a Bluetooth keyboard, and if your cell phone is your option and you want to use it, Bluetooth keyboards are pretty cheap. I think I got mine for like 12 bucks, and I take it when I fly and travel so that I don't have to pull my computer out for everything, and I do use it. It makes a big difference in being able to edit and manipulate on a cell phone and think about what you're doing, because then your phone can just be your mini computer screen. We know it's on the 13th, but you can click here and see your schedule and time. This is what we should be getting in the next day or two. I don't think anybody has accommodations. I thought that they were going to have a place for you all to practice using the exam screen, and I am going to ask them about that today. The online lessons, some of the videos you've been watching and doing with the choice boards, this is where you can get to them if you want to start going through them, and it's why I'm not assigning any new work this week other than looking through all of this and kind of wrapping your brain around what's going to happen here with the test. And I decided to do that because you have the extra week with Hamlet, so that slowed down a little bit, and you can just kind of take a deep breath, think about the AP site and what you're going to need to do since it's a different approach. And let's see, English literature and composition. So even if they have a live stream, those videos do get recorded on YouTube as you've seen, and you can go back and watch them. But if you want to watch them live, this is where you go to link, and in the live session, I believe you can ask questions as they're going too. So that might be something you want to do the next few days and see what comes up on there. Any questions about this? Everyone understands where to go? I have College Board connected to my personal email. Okay, all right, I'm going to ask them that question, Sid, so don't worry about it. We will figure it out. This is our week to get it as figured out as possible. All right, so here's what I would like for you to do. I'm going to share my screen one more time. Oh, hold on, I have to do something real quick because I think I put it in draft mode. Give me one sec. All right, you'll probably need to refresh your Google Classroom screen because I just removed it from draft mode and put it in full mode. I'm going to share my screen one more time, explain what I want you to do, and then we'll come back for questions, and then that will be it for today, okay? So hang tight, we're almost done. All right. Oh, for a second, I thought I typed AP for COVID students. I'm glad I didn't say that. All right, here's the assignment. I want you to think about what we've talked about. I want you to go to the AP site, read, think about the videos, maybe go back and watch some that you haven't watched yet. I know they're long, I know they're boring, I know they're tedious, I get it. But the teachers who are doing them are really good, and they've been doing this for a really long time. I would like to tell you all that I am the best of the best, but as I've always told you, I am growing and evolving, and this is the first time I've taught literature this way. And so I am a big believer in that one brain is minimal and multiple brains are magnificent. And so you have all of the resources of some of the top teachers in the country working with AP to give you their advice, and I highly suggest you do it. So anyway, what you're going to do is go back to the AP website, do some exploring about the test, the resources available to you, some of the instruction, and then you're going to come back to this Google slideshow. And before we go, I want to make sure that you can indeed get on it and edit it so that I'm not getting a million requests for access. I want you to find 3 pieces of information, I think I said. No, I didn't say 3. I said come back with the most important. I meant to put at least 3 in there. And I will edit that to say at least 3 of what you think are the most important pieces of information from the testing website, from the video, etc. When you put that information in, you need to make it a live link to where that information can be found. So all you have to do in the Google slide to do that, if I wanted to make this a live link, for instance, let it load, I would click the picture. I don't know if it's gonna, should, yeah, okay. And this little link button right here. And it would let me paste the URL where I got this, and it would become a live link to that site. If I want to do it with text, you just highlight the text, you find the little link, and type in the URL to make it a live link. So there are plenty of slides here. If you need to add one for some reason, you just click plus. So you're looking for what you think are 3 top pieces of information about the AP test or about instruction related to the test on Q2. And you're making a slide that shares those. Each piece of information, and you can have more than 3, has a live link to where we can find that information. And then I invite you to be creative. If you want to make it pictures with text, whatever you want to do. But somewhere on this screen, your name needs to appear, because I'm not going to come back and ask you. So Easy Grade helps you start thinking about what you need to think about for the test. And as far as the logistics go, and if you go into the instructions, some of that thinking. Any questions? Are you able, anybody not able to edit on it? Tips on how to write, yeah, anything that you garner from the AP website, COVID for Students, that tells you about the test, anything that you've gone into a video that you haven't already given me on the choice boards, unless something on the choice board you think is, this is the most someone at some point said, I think this is the most valuable piece of information I've garnered from any of this so far. Might have been Anella that told me that on one thing, even though she finds the videos tedious, right, Anella? So if there is something back there that you use, but I don't want you just to go back to the choice boards and pull from the choice boards. I want it to be a fresh look. Okay? Questions?
I can't find the PowerPoint. Where you have it?
So in Google Classroom, let me share again and I'll show you. All right, so here's your classroom. The topic says,
I think you have to share it to 5th period as well.
Okay, let me do that. That was going to be my next question. Did I remember to share it to 5th period? No, I didn't. Oh man, I bet I shared that with 7th period and that's just going to throw them all out of whack. I better fix that. All right, as soon as that's done, 5th period, refresh that. I'm going to really quickly make sure I didn't share that to myself. That's what I do sometimes. I accidentally hit 7th period instead of, yep. All right, everybody have it? Tips on how to write as well from the AP videos. Yes, anything that you think is critical information. Top 3 pieces of critical information. If you want to do more than 3, that's fine. But remember that you're trying to remind yourself and others, these are the biggest takeaways. So don't overcrowd it. I wouldn't do more than 5. 3 minimum, 5 maximum. Who is that, Lavender?
Small shoes bother me, so I had to gird up shoes, baby.
Hold her up to the camera. Eli wants to see her. Don't
I'm
you,
sure
Eli?
he
Oh,
is.
she's cute. That's the miniature picture. I haven't harassed Eli about Frankie since we. Thought I'd harass him on that one. All right, any other questions? Everyone understand what you're doing?
So you want us to create our own slide and then put 3 things that we're clear about that we want to make sure we know on the test?
Yes. Eli, I was making Lavender show you her dog and because I said that you wanted to see it since you haven't had the joy of Frankie lately. Eli wasn't paying attention when I said that. He's so honest. I just like that about that kid. All right, any other questions? You understood about the slideshow, right, Eli? Okay. All right.
My College Board still says, like, oops, it looks like you're in the wrong place. It was doing that one time before.
Okay, Dale, will you show that to your mom? Because as the coordinator, she's probably the one that has to fix that.
Yeah, I'm logged in, but like when I go to AP Central, that's when it says it looks like you're in the wrong place.
Is it asking you to log in again there?
It did when I went back into it. Let me try again.
Okay, sometimes when I switch between AP and College Central, I have to log in. It gives me another login screen.
Yeah, it still says it looks like you might be in the wrong place.
Mine
Okay.
does that to me all the time. I just have to click on AP Students instead of AP Central and then find the link from there.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. That's it, guys. Sydney, we resolved the question you had yesterday. Did that make sense what I texted you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. And I was just going to leave it like that because that way it doesn't impact, okay? All right. Au revoir, ciao, hasta la vista. I will see you on Thursday.
Wait, so where's the AP Central at part? I'm confused.
Yeah, like where do we see the information that we?
Yeah,
I cannot find it.
Okay, if you want to stay, I will help you.
yes, please.
Okay. I need to get back to my screen. You have to remember that when I'm going in as a teacher, so I'm hoping that yours is similar. But let me take a look. You should have so like right now I'm on AP Central and it says my AP and then it says coronavirus updates.
So you go to the coronavirus updates.
Right.
We have that. Okay.
And then I have the option of seeing the educator and the student information. I don't know if you do or not. But up there I clicked on students and that's where you can find the full schedule, the information about taking the exams, which pretty much covers everything we just talked about. And then down here, you scroll down, that's where you have the YouTube videos and information about the course sessions and review sessions. And you can hop onto some of the live ones if you want. And that might be worth doing at least once because I think on the live ones, like with my webinars, you should be able to ask questions right then and there. So it might be worth hopping in because that could be one of your pieces of advice on your slide is hopping into a live session to be able to ask questions might be what you found the most valuable. Who knows? Okay. Everybody got there?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. You good, Arthur?
Yeah, I'm sorry, just a little late.
That's okay. So this has all been recording. I'm going to make an Edpuzzle video of it for people who weren't attending. So you can tell Ellie it'll be there. It takes me about 2 hours to make them, and I've got a lot going on today. It'll be there by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, hon. Bye.
Bye.